Now time for the 7 things you'll be talking about today. Number 7.
A very interesting story being pushed by Katie Britt, and it's one that we should be paying attention to. She is sounding the alarm on a sextortion scheme, or a series of sextortion schemes that are hitting young men. The number is up significantly, a 1,325% increase in AI being used to sextort people, and commit child sexual abuse. People have to pay attention to it. Britt said this: "I have had a number of parents sit in front of me telling me terrible, heartbreaking stories about their children ultimately taking their own lives because they've been blackmailed. Not because of something they've done, but because something has been made up using AI. A real danger here. You got to pay attention to what your kids are doing online, folks. You got to know what they're up to."
Number 6.
So we might get the National Guard in Alabama. We may not get the National Guard in Alabama. We'll talk a little bit later about why that probably should happen. But one of my favorite people in the Trump administration is talking about the reaction that the National Guard would get in some places. There's this big push to watch them fighting with people in Chicago or Los Angeles. There's also been some talk of sending them to New Orleans and Memphis and things like that. But how would they be received if they showed up in, Dothan, Alabama? Stephen Miller, an advisor to the president, says they would be welcome. People would bring them cups of coffee, not throw rocks at them. They would, quote, say, "Hello, good morning." Maybe they get them a cup of coffee. They'd ask, "How are your kids doing?" Exactly what would happen in Dothan, Alabama. It's the outside agitators that are problems here, folks.
Number 5.
And speaking of that, the situation in Chicago continues to be an issue. I saw a video earlier this morning, and maybe I'll play it a little later, of CNN praising a guy getting released because the mob started screaming at the people trying to arrest him. Criminal. Interesting. But 200 National Guard troops from Texas have arrived in Illinois for 60 days. They will be there to protect federal personnel and ICE facilities from anti-immigration riots, which have been taking place. Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson and Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker continue suggesting that America is headed towards a civil war and that federal officers are like those seen in Nazi Germany. These are the same people that will turn around and be like, "Hey guys, why don't you turn down the temperature a little bit? Why don't you do that?"
Number 4.
A governor-elect, national championship winning coach, United States Senator Tommy Tuberville, has made it pretty clear. This Paul Feinbaum thing, he finds it to be somewhat interesting. He continues talking about it and his potential 2026 Senate run. Now, he's noted his 100% name recognition as an asset, which he should know, but stressed that articulating clear political beliefs and motivations would be the most important thing for voter appeal. And you've seen over the last couple of weeks, guys like Steve Marshall point out that, hey, if you go back and you look at what Paul Feinbaum has said over the last couple of years, maybe he's not really a good fit for a Republican candidate from Alabama in the United States Senate. And that's a real possibility. When they start delving into his words, maybe it's not exactly how people are portrayed.
Number 3.
Everyone hates Karen neighbors, but if you are the sheriff of Mobile County in Alabama, you're really hating this. Because the sheriff is now facing a backlash for a home Halloween display depicting skeletons and sombreros being chased by ice figures, which is really funny, honestly. It's really, really funny. It has been criticized as dehumanizing immigrants by this Karen-ly neighbor whose name is all over the place, and I'm not going to say it. But it's actually just kind of really funny. I mean, it is. If you can't find any humor in this, sorry. I'm a little upset with the sheriff here for not just owning this and instead saying, no, not me. My wife put this up. I have nothing to do with this. Not me. Throwing his own wife under the bus.
Number 2.
No arrests have been made no arrests have been made in the October 4th shooting in Montgomery. No arrests, which is shocking, especially considering the mayor there told us straight up, hey, police were right on top of the scene as this happened. Okay? They were right there. But this killed 2 people, injured 12, and they still don't have anyone arrested, but they're totally going to get them. The mayor of the city, Stephen Reed, has done as I predicted earlier. He has decided to say, hey, we don't need the National Guard. Everything's fine here. And then he blamed Alabama's constitutional carry laws. Yes, I'm sure the people engaging in urban street violence were huge constitutional carry fans. I bet that, yeah, I'm sure.
Now, time for the number 1 thing you'll be talking about today.
Alabama Governor Kay Ivey is using your resources to patrol downtown Montgomery. And she is expanding the Aaliyah Trooper Patrol there. And it's scary. I mean, I'll tell you the truth. I've been down there, done talk radio shows from the Capitol. When I did this, the people who were letting me in the building were like, hey, hurry up, get in here. That's not a joke. That's real. They're offering up legislative resource support, zero tolerance coordination, and an ABC review of alcohol sales in high traffic areas, stating all options remain on the table for prosecution and safety. Are we gonna stop alcohol sales in downtown Montgomery? You're not gonna allow the bars to sell at midnight? I mean, is that fuck, guys? What are we doing? What are we doing? The correct answer here is to send in the National Guard to start arresting people for everything that they do wrong inside the city of Montgomery, to use a broken windows policing philosophy that if you stop the small things, the big things will stop. They've already spent $2.5 million on a Montgomery area crime suppression unit out of your legislative resources. It's been operating since June 2024. It has yielded 3,100 stops, 429 arrests, 164 machine gun conversion devices confiscated, and 268 firearms seized. They also took 68 vehicles. Here's my question for this, and I don't have the answer. I don't have the answer to this. How many people did they put in jail? How many people got put in jail for lengthy periods of time? How many people got arrested and how many people got put in jail? That is the real question here. You can take their guns away. You can do all this stuff if you want. That's great. But what is happening with the people who are committing these crimes? What are you doing to them? That is the question that needs to be answered. And we're going to get to the bottom of that answer eventually. Keep it locked right here on WVNN. I will continue talking to you about this and the other things going on in your world, in the state of Alabama and beyond. So stay tuned. More coming up right here on WVNN.
Get WVNN's Dale Jackson 7 Things You Should Be Talking About Today right in your email box every morning. Go to yellowhammernews.com and sign up today.